Yo, what's good? What's good? NBA YouTube. It's your man, 100 Grand Ross with the Rock Never Stops. Coming to you with another episode of NBA Talk. And today we get a chance to revisit one of my favorite topics. What the hell is going on with these Los Angeles Lakers? If you like the video, smash the like button, hit subscribe, smash the bell for notifications of new videos. But let's get in on this. Last night, they lost to the Memphis Grizzlies after having a double digit lead. John Morant played spectacular. Had nobody who could do anything with him. LeBron played spectacular, had a great game, and it didn't matter. And that's an issue. That's an issue. At no point in time should LeBron be able to have a great game and the Los Angeles Lakers cannot be the dominant team. This is not a issue of has Father Time finally caught LeBron? It hasn't. It hasn't. Is he trying to dunk on everybody like he was? No. But that's like saying Father Time had caught Michael Jordan and he wasn't trying to dunk on everybody, but he was taking uh, free throw line fadeaways from the left block. It's just an adjustment in the game. And that's what LeBron has done. And he's still dominating, straight up dominating. But the issue that I see that's really sad is that Rob Pelinka still doesn't know what he's doing. He still doesn't know what he's doing. I mean, I suppose he gets credit for bringing in Anthony Davis, but we all know that was clutch sports. He gets credit for bringing in a couple of veterans. Um, but he keeps turning over the team every single year. Like every single year. It's the same thing they used to do in Cleveland. Um, Except I would say even worse. Even worse. Because at least in Cleveland, he had guys that you would call rough riders, right? LeBron type guys. Guys that were going to compete and were going to be tough minded. They weren't going to be individuals who were uh, easily thrown off by the moment. They were going to lock in, defend, give 150% effort. Iman Shumpert, J.R. Smith, Tristan Thompson. These dudes, even Matthew Dellavedova, these guys showed up. And each year, Rob Pelinka brings in a group of veterans who you have no idea if they're going to show up. And it's sad to see that he can't look around the league and see the examples of all the other teams that are winning, all the other franchises that have figured it out. You go out and get a good coach. Simple. He botched that. Chose Frank Vogel over Tyronne Lue. It's clear. Tyronne Lue was the better coach. Far better. Who is actually above them in the standings, despite having both their star players out. Then he goes and he brings in a few veterans that I would say that championship year was the right set of veterans. Dwight Howard. Uh, he brought in Rajon Rondo. He had Alex Caruso still. Kyle Kuzma. Young guys who could play that energetic defense that's needed around LeBron, flying around, running up and down in transition, doing all the little things that you shouldn't be asking 16, 17, 18-year veterans to do. And these guys fit. But then the following year, all of a sudden, Rob Pelinka wants to get cute and doesn't want to bring guys back. So he brings in a whole other crop of guys who the coach can't seem to do anything with. Couldn't figure out how to utilize Montrezl Harrell, who's practically a 20-10 big man, 6 man of the year candidate. Couldn't figure out how to really get Dennis Schroeder going consistently. Couldn't convince him to come off the bench. Let him walk around thinking that he was going to be the starting point guard. You couldn't figure out how to get the other players going. And then what do you do the next year? You get a whole new crop. It hasn't worked. It's not working. The Lakers are the 7th seed, tied with Dallas, Minnesota. And that's sad. Dallas is without Luka Doncic, their best player. Minnesota is just a sad franchise. And the Lakers are tied with them, are tied, are tied. When I see this Lakers team, I feel bad for LeBron. I feel bad because at least when he had Alex Caruso, Contavious Caldwell-Pope, Montrezl Harrell, he had guys that had grown with him over some years, over maybe the past 3 years while he's in Los Angeles, and they've had success with him. They've tasted victory, right? They got the championship. They knew what it was about. They knew how to get back there because they had been there. And then they get let go. And you would think they would get let go to bring in better players, but they brought in worse players. Russell Westbrook, they brought in, oh, who they got? Avery Bradley now. They got a bunch of guys who you're still trying to figure out if they fit. And eventually you have to stop and be like, why can't the Lakers put together a team and build on it? Like, why can't they have what the Golden State Warriors have, Phoenix Suns have, Utah Jazz have? Continuity. Why can't they have a team that comes together, builds together over seasons, gets better together, and you know what you're going to get, especially after you win a championship? Why didn't they bring back Danny Green? Why did they have to have an Andre Drummond experiment? Why are they trying to do all these things outside of the wheel as if Lakers aren't the second highest grossing NBA team and one of the highest grossing NBA franchises, meaning that they're not lacking any money or resources? Meaning they can go way over the salary cap and be just fine, still be making more than anybody else. Why are they going cheap all of a sudden? This is LeBron James. This is LeBron James in his prime. In his prime, you don't go cheap on the coach. You go out and get the best coach. Right now, Frank Vogel's not as good as JB Bickerstaff. He's not as good as I mean, I would practically say, is he better than Steven Silas in Houston? Steven Silas has a bunch of young guys and a bunch of veterans who are practically out the league, and yet he can actually put together X's and O's and maximize the talent, even though he doesn't really have it. Frank Vogel can't seem to put together offensive schemes that allows this team to score when LeBron James is off the court. They can't win when LeBron James isn't there. Russell Westbrook still doesn't look any better than what he was any other spot. He doesn't have an offensive system, and he's supposed to be a defensive-minded coach, but your offense is so bad, you gotta put non-defensive players out there, which means that your defense is gonna suck still. And somehow LeBron James has you guys as a 7 seed. And this is the point of the video. It's not Father Time. It's Rob Pelinka. And maybe Magic Johnson was right all along. He said, "This ain't the guy. This ain't the guy. This ain't the guy." And he hasn't been. Yeah, they lucked out. They were had a healthy season during the bubble, won a championship. Dope. Why doesn't this team have any depth? Why weren't they able to go out and get prime free agents? Why weren't they able to get the role players necessary to continue to compete? Why don't they still have a culture? Why are they still searching and trying to figure out what's going to fit around LeBron year after year after year? If LeBron doesn't win another championship, it's going to be sad because the Lakers and the Lakers fans aren't going to remember him for the one he brought in. They're going to remember all the ones that potentially got left on the table. So I'm probably going to end the video there. Let me know what you think. Is Rob Pelinka the issue? Is it Frank Vogel? Or do you actually believe that Father Time is caught up with LeBron James? Either way, smash that like button if you enjoyed the video. Hit the bell for notifications, some new videos, and subscribe if you want to. Peace.